guys, so today I'm here to do a review, and that is going to be for the anthology of Meet Cute, which has a bunch of stories by a bunch of authors, which include Jennifer Armentrout, Dianelle Clayton, Katie Conjun, Jocelyn Davis, Hurley Fitzpatrick, Nina LaCour, Emery Lord, Catherine McGee, Cass Morgan, Billy Murphy, Meredith Russo, Sarah Shepard, Nicola Yoon, and I.B. Zobo. That was a lot of names to get through. Probably pronounced them all wrong, but this is a really cute anthology about Meet Cute, so all these characters are meeting each other for the first time, and it's not like love at first sight, but it's just that kind of the instant connection that you get with some people that you do meet. So I loved this a lot. This was really cute, really adorable. I gave it 4 stars because there was a couple of stories that weren't my favourite. Overall, I think this was a really good story collection, and I definitely recommend it, and I just think everyone needs to read it so they can feel how adorable it is. So this video isn't going to have any spoilers in it. You don't have to worry if you haven't read the book, so you can just keep watching and enjoy this review. So I'll just give you a little overview of each story and my rating for each one, because I did give each story a rating out of 5, and then I added those ratings together, then divided them by the amount of stories there were and got my full rating, which was 4 stars. So let's get into it. So the first story was Siege Etiquette, and I gave this one 2 out of 5 stars. It was my least favorite story, and the main basis for this is it was in second perspective, and I just had such a hard time trying to connect to the story because it was trying to write it as if I was in the story, and I did not like that. That was just too hard to get into when you only had 20 pages to read. This story was about 2 teens that were stuck in a bathroom when the party they were at had the cops come over to it, and they're just hiding in the bathroom and then getting to know each other. And the girl main character, who you're in the perspective of, is the queen bee, and she's got all the friends, and the other guy is someone who lives on a farm and only goes to school every 6 months. So it was kind of interesting with those character perspectives, but I also didn't like the main character, and I'm not a bitch as a person, so it was just weird having it seem like I was this character, and I was just like, I don't get it. The next story was Print Shop, and I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. This one was pretty adorable. About this girl who starts working at this print store, and she wants to go there because there's not going to be technology and it's going to be all fun. But in her first day there, she finds out that they want her to actually make Twitter accounts and Instagrams and try and get people to come into the store. And as she's doing this, a disgruntled customer starts messaging and tweeting at her about how shit the store is and about how they don't follow through on their artwork, and about the relationship between them and the main character trying to get the artwork done for this person. So I really like this relationship. It is between 2 girls, and it was really adorable, and loved it. Okay, the next story was Hourglass, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, and this is a story about a girl who wants to get out of a small town and get somewhere bigger where being biracial isn't going to be a problem for her. And she has her best friend that she's had for ages, but her best friend might not be the best person to be around. School's nearly over and the prom's happening, and she wants to get a dress made for herself. But I really liked the way that she was just trying to get a better life, and she really wanted to get into a good uni, and she just wanted to make something of herself. And I really enjoyed the self-discovery with this character, and just I really liked this story. The next story was Click, and I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of technological and sci-fi in a sense, but in this world there is a dating app where it matches you up with people, and what it does is it goes through every single profile you have out there, and it matches you up to someone who is pretty much the exact same as you, that's going to be a perfect match for you. And the main character, she is going into this app and she meets a guy, but then she loses her phone, so they have to go through the whole city trying to find her phone, and during the process of this they get to know each other, and it was really great. But I love the idea of this dating app because it could be a little bit like Tinder, except you're not swiping right, you're getting linked up with people, but it was a great story with the connections of that. The next story was The Intern, and I give this one 4 out of 5 stars. I liked it. It was kind of fun having the music in this, and having this girl who everyone thinks she's just a drop kick and not worth her time, but she's trying to work through it and trying to do good in this intern for her dad's music company. She meets one of the singers and she just walks him around the park and she gets to know him, but it was really cute, and pretty easy read, this one. The next one was Somewhere That's Green, and I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars, and this one was about a transgender person and being allowed to actually use the female bathrooms even though they used to use the male bathrooms. But I loved this story. It was really great, and I've not really read many stories about transgender females, or would you say transgender male? That's kind of confusing. It's like person who's transitioned into a female, but I don't really know the lingo too well, so don't blame me if I do say it the wrong way, but I really loved having this kind of look at it and having all these different characters, and like religion came into it and all this kind of stuff, and the news was in it. But I think it was a really great story, and I loved that the main character was just so awesome, and they did not care what people said, and they're just like, you know what, this is me, don't judge me, and I just loved it. Next story was The Way We Love Here, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This was an interesting one because what happens if you got these tattoos on your ring finger, and as the tattoo slowly disappears, when it's completely gone, you meet your soulmate. And in this book, this girl meets another guy that has the sort of same tattoo as her, but they're not completely the same, and they sort of go through this journey and seeing their lives, and it was really interesting. I love the fantasy element of this one, so that was really great. The next story was Oomph. I think that's how you say it, Oomph. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars, and it's just about 2 girls who are stuck in an airport because their planes have been delayed, and they learned about each other, and it was really fun, and they made some Marvel references, so I was really happy. Next story was The Dictionary of You and Me, and I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars, and it was really cute. It's about this girl who works in a library, and she's been calling this guy every single week to try and get him to return a dictionary, and she doesn't know who it is, and she just keeps having really great conversations with him, and then finally they sort of meet, and it was really great. The next story was The Unlikely Likelihood of Falling in Love, a very hard title to say, and this one I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and it's a really interesting concept because there's science and love, and it was awesome. It's about this girl who, when she's on a train, she passes the train and sees this guy on the train. She sort of gets an instant connection when she looks at him, and she bases her science project around trying to see if she can meet him again by going on the train, and she does so much effort into this project, and it was just awesome. Okay, the next story was 259 Million Miles, and I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars because it upset me with the ending. The ending kind of broke my heart, and it was only like 20 pages long. It's about these 2 people that are sort of auditioning or interviewing to go for a trip to Mars, but it's a one-way ticket, so once they go they have to leave Earth forever, and it's a very interesting concept of a book, but it made me sad. The next story was Something Real, and I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars, and this is about a girl who, a couple of years ago, she started this fan base for this singer who was sort of small on YouTube, and as they've started to get bigger and bigger and bigger, her fan base site got bigger, and then she's sort of like become very popular in this musician's life, and now she's been given a spot on this dating show to win a date with him, and there's another girl that she's won a date with, and the story kind of goes into the idea of like, reality TV is just fake, it's not real, and like she wants to find something real, and it's very interesting. But I loved the whole idea of it, and some of the elements went into this story, and it was just a fun, quirky read. Next story was Say Everything, and I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars because again it was in second perspective, so it was kind of hard, but about this girl and her family and how they've sort of lost everything because the company that they were part of went bankrupt or it did something wrong, and then she finds out that one of her friends' father is the part of this company, and they sort of clash a little bit because she, like, you know, she's lost everything, and then he takes her back to her old house, and it's kind of all over the spot. But the story sort of didn't have that much going for it, and the second perspective was kind of hard. It still sort of had an interesting story concept, so I enjoyed it enough to give it a 3 stars. Okay, and the last story was The Department of Dead Love, and I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, and this was a really interesting concept. It was like a business sort of venture here because there would be all these different departments where you can, like, you know, you get help for unrequited love, you get help for really good love, you get help for teen angst love. Like, it's all very interesting because it's like literally like a corporation that is love, so they try and help you when you can't get the love that you want, or if you want to forget love. And it was really interesting, and about how this guy was trying to get back a relationship that he thought was really good, but the other person didn't think so, and he meets some other people along the way. But the whole concept of this story was really interesting, and I really want a book. I just want a book about it. Like, most of these short stories I honestly think I would love to read a whole novel about because they were just so interesting. Like, this should be a basis, and then the authors should just write series about it. So that is all my opinions about the stories, and I hope this hasn't gone too long because I'm looking at my video here and I'm just like, damn, it's been filming for a while, so hopefully I can edit this down a bit because you might lose interest after a little while, but hopefully you guys will want to read these stories. My overviews turned into a lot of thoughts and feelings. As I said, I thought this was really cute, and I love how diverse it is. Like, there's so many different stories and different people, and it was just great that so much was incorporated into this anthology. And like, I don't know how it got me feeling so much with just 25 pages or so of a story, because I was feeling for the characters and I'm like, my god, I'm dying. And as I said before, my one problem with the anthology was just some of the stories were in second perspective, and I didn't realize until reading it that I actually hate this. Like, it's just so hard to connect to it when you're not in the story, and I just do first or third person because I can understand those. But overall, I really enjoyed this short story collection, and I totally recommend it. So if you have watched it all the way through, I think you should read this. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!